Yes! No! Sir, get down. You fix some things, you break other ones.
Batfield Studios might have just saved BF6 for controller players with an update featuring changes to aim assist, and it's probably not changed it in the way you expect. Here's what they've done and how it affects the game, plus why it's good for both controller and mouse and keyboard players because it isn't overpowered. Spoiler, there will be some bots in the footage today, and yes, I will complain about the awful matchmaking issues in this video later on because there are still massive issues to be sorted for this game if it's going to be great for many players. So before this update, here's how aim assist on controller worked in basic terms. There was a mega sticky bubble all around the enemy player. Not just the player, but significantly outside of the player model, like they were encased within the bubble. With controller players having less recoil than mouse and keyboard, this combination was what caused a lot of mouse players to complain about getting beamed by controller. Low recoil, mega sticky enemy body. But there's a problem with that assertion. Confirmation bias. You see, when you're getting blasted by that, it obviously feels bad, but those players only notice it when it happens that way. What they didn't realize and don't realize is that for any half-decent controller player, that aim assist was absolutely awful, because a large sticky bubble around the player may as well have been a force field, as dragging onto the target was extremely difficult and meant the controller players had no consistency when it came to aiming, dragging, and target switching, plus getting stuck on the wrong enemy bubble sometimes when you had multiple enemies on screen. Now with this update, the aim assist is returned to the beta aim assist, good logical aim assist, or what I call functional aim assist. It actually works.
Before, with the aim assist as it was previously, I would drag and then here it would start to hold me off, so it'd be difficult to get on. I'd have to pull harder, and then by that point you're pulling so hard, you're struggling to stay on the target. Whereas now, I can actually pass over it and just use the stickiness to stay on. That's so much better. Thank God, man.
Now the aim assist applies to the player model rather than a massive area around them. That change might not sound like much if you don't know anything about it, but it's absolutely massive in practice. It now actually provides the slowdown needed for solid aiming without feeling like you're having to fight it to get onto the target, so we have proper aim assist now rather than the janky mess that was offered up in the full release. Because yes, if you're wondering, the aim assist wasn't bad before the game came out. The beta and prior to it had gunplay feeling great. So imagine my surprise and frustration when I got my hands on the release build and found that I couldn't effectively drag onto the target anymore. Not against bots, not in the practice range, and not against real players.
By the way, I think I died there before the aim assist change because I wouldn't have been able to drag onto him effectively, so happy days on that one.
This led to myself and many other players actually lowering our aim assist slowdown to account for how bad it was, which helped with the issue of dragging onto the target, but also meant that we didn't have the expected assist when staying on target, so kind of a pick your poison moment. Very quick personal comment here, thank you for 90,000 subscribers, on now to 100k if you'd like to join this community with your subscription. Thank you very much. So this aim assist change may have a bit of a downside for players down at the bottom end of the skill bracket, because if you're someone that really struggles to aim, then the massive stickiness if you aim directly at the target was probably more beneficial than what we have now. Because I assume dragging onto the target would be very hard for such a player with either aim assist available. But with some practice and improvement, I promise that the aim assist we have now is better, whilst also being less of a crutch, a better expression of skill, and without hampering the ability to play in a fluid manner. And no need to go and lower and increase your values depending on the weapon you're using, which was very annoying. And if you're a mouse and keyboard player out there ready to say, just turn it off, why is it needed, it's unfair and all that stuff, my response is, it's 2025, nearly 2026. This topic has been picked over a million times, you have all the information out there online, the aim assist is nothing like Call of Duty aim assist that's had for years prior to this current release, and I fully support actually PC Battlefield players gaining the ability to turn off crossplay if they want to. Overall, platform elitism is lame. We know why aim assist exists, and yes, it is necessary for crossplay. This is a video game, it's a pastime, so let's see if the majority of us can avoid aggressively defending the machine we shoot pixels on as if it's the most key part of our identity, because it really isn't that deep. Plus, this aim assist doesn't make it stronger, we don't need it stronger, we just needed it to work in a functional manner, which now it does, so hallelujah. Which means you now have the right time, if you're a controller player, to properly alter your settings, because now it should actually be all reliable and work as intended. Before, it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to put the time into fine-tuning everything. When the aim assist was busted, spread on weapons was insane, and we knew that changes were coming. If you need help with your settings now, I have my full settings guide in the description. But all is not 100% well for Battlefield 6, especially for controller players, and players that want crossplay turned off, which at the minute is just console because PC can't do it for some reason, and for players in low population regions, and those playing at a suboptimal time of day, and those wanting to play more niche modes. The matchmaking in this game is abysmal, hence the bots you're seeing in my gameplay some of the time, and I'm probably going to keep talking about this until something is done, or just endlessly if they don't fix it. Server browser and persistent servers needed. Please, stop making us join lobbies, wait for it to fill, have to accept it filling gaps with bots, and then repeating it over and over and over again for every round is ridiculous. Thank you. Also, I did play with both crossplay on and off for this footage, and I just find it to be way more fun with it off. I just don't think that crossplay really works very well for FPS games. One input method is always stronger than the other. It seems unavoidable. Oh, and they broke the firing range with this update, as you saw at the start of the video, I think, which is entertaining, so that's a fun one. Break some things, fix other things, the cycle continues to Battlefield. But there's loads more in this update that significantly affects how the game plays, so let's go through all that. Obviously, we have the new map, Eastwood, which is great to get hold of and is a far better map than the one that released a few weeks ago, Blackwall Fields. I think a lot of you are going to like this map when compared with the rest of what's on offer in the game, but still I do think we need to see more map variety, perhaps a willingness to bring truly great maps created in the portal across to the standard official modes. There is also a new mode called Sabotage, along with the new DB12 shotgun and M357 trait sidearm, plus new battle pickups including a minigun, which is pretty cool, whilst also not being overpowered. The battle pass gets the California Resistance bonus path, and there's a new underbarrel attachment, the slim hand stop. As for changes, aside from the aim assist changes, there's apparently improved input latency and stick response for controllers. Personally, I'm not satisfied with how the game feels right now on controller for movement at all. Perhaps I need to dive back into my settings, change things once again to sync up with this effectively new build of the game. I hope I can get it feeling good. If not, maybe I just don't like how the movement in this game feels now. After loving it in the beta, I just think the game isn't as good as it was in the beta with a lot of the changes that have been made, which is frustrating. But anyway, there's weapon accuracy and dispersion tuning, fixing unintended weapon bloom or spread increased rates, whilst improving non-recon sniper rifle accuracy and overall weapon dispersion in the game. This is just straight up a good thing. Less instances of your bullets flying off into another dimension. There's also challenge and progression improvements, making requirements easier to understand and track. I expect some players will still be unhappy with some challenges and progression, but improvements are always a positive. They've done some major polishing to deployable gadgets, and Fort Linden has been added to the portal, along with a long list of tweaks and fixes for general play for overall better quality of life. This is a good update. I hope we continue to get updates of this quality. I also hope they'll finally address the matchmaking I talked about today and the netcode issues at some point. But rather than dive into that, we'll keep this mainly positive focus today. Let me know what you think of this update and the state of the game right now. Thanks for any fresh subscriptions and your likes on the video to help the channel out. Patreon is in the description if you want to directly support the continuation of content on this channel, and YouTube is now suggesting another video of mine that it thinks that you'll like. I'll see you over there.